Hello, everybody. How are you? It would be just like StreamYard to be like, hey, we have a problem on Facebook. Can you fix it right as soon as you're about to go live? No, I can't. I sure can't. I sure cannot. Oh well. Sorry, Facebook folks. You can't hear me. I don't know why I'm saying that. Anyways, how's everybody doing? It's good to see you. It's nice to see you. I'm trying to work on this whole like I don't know, internet situation. Trying to look for the best thing, the best option. I don't know what's happening anymore with it. I blame Comcast. That's right, Comcast. I'm calling you out. Fix it. Make it better. Especially since I don't have another option right now, which I always thought was a monopoly. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Welcome to Night Court. Night Court is most assuredly in session. I'm so glad you guys are here with moi. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know what that means entirely, but hopefully classy. Miss Wendy, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry that you have a migraine. I whisper. Don't go. We are on tonight. Hello, welcome. Miss Angie, hello. Captain, hello. Who else we got? Oh my gosh, there's a llama in the house. There's a llama in the house. Amy, hello. Hello, Miss Linda. Thanks, everybody. Today, man, the past couple of days are crazy. 7-hour mascotting gig. And then the next day, I finally started retaking my ADHD meds because I finally got them for the first time in like 2 months. And I just wanted to do all the things outside. So I went from mowing the lawn to trimming the lawn to blowing off the grass to then starting to bury storm gutter drains. Because why not? Right? Why not? So I finished the last one today, but definitely getting somebody out here on Wednesday to take a look at the whole regrading the backyard situation because I want my kids to be able to play in the backyard and it's muddy. It's gross. But I walked inside on Sunday and I was like, and that's what Vive Vance will do for you. But hey, I got a lot done at work today. That's for sure. So hard for me to focus. I told all the mods, I was like, I gotta stretch it out. So if you saw the video that was posted in terms of the schedule, you'll see that Night Court is today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So we're gonna do Night Court on Thursday instead of True Crime and Wine Time. Terry True Crime, she's handling some family stuff. Everything's okay, but it's just taking her away from the stream, the channel right now, and that's totally cool. Please take care of what I always say at the end: take care of yourself, your family. That's important. So, but she will be back. So yay! But you'll get an extra day of Night Court, and I'm planning on possibly reading the probable cause thing and stuff for Chandler, because although we get a lot of it in court, the direct notes seem to always have something extra in them that we can make fun of. And boy, there's a lot for Liar Pants on Fireface. So, so yeah, I was really hoping Shunka would be here because I most assuredly created those sound effects for Bacon Bit. So let's hope we can get her in here. I'm not gonna play him until she comes in, but Bacon Bit has 2 sound effects because I put one together that I mentioned last week, and then I thought, oh, there's one more that definitely needs to be used for sure. So hopefully she flies on in here at some point. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Text, tag, etc. It's I'm seeing that things are fuzzy. I know I'm probably the most fuzzy out of anything. Hopefully everything else is okay though. Oh, that'll do it. Yep, lowest quality will do it. You lost your answers you wrote down the other night for the quiz. Oh no. Well, you can always go back. That's for sure. Um, and take a look at the questions. That's always a possibility. Really, I should start time stamping that on the Hey Ho Show video. I'll try and remember to do that at the end of the night tonight. And that way you can just go to it. Sorry you lost your answers. Ugh, that stinks. Hi, Nan. Hello, welcome, welcome. Well, YouTube doesn't know you. But then also YouTube was probably like his camera sucks right now anyway, so you might as well just go on the lowest setting. Everything else. Just make everything else the same. But now your Liz Taylor joke makes a lot more sense to me. So that's good. That's good. I'm happy about that. Also, I'm happy that my little signal thing just came back. Great. So yeah, lots going on. It was a crazy weekend. How was everybody else's weekend? Did you do anything of note? Let's check in. Let's check in with everybody. While you're typing what you did this weekend, my bowling league starts on Wednesday. I am nervous, even though it's for funsies, but still nervous. Still the most nervous ever. YouTube's a liar. Like Chandler Halderson. Let's see. What are we? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're in the middle of his ex girlfriend's testimony. Spicy! Man, a lot of folks were seeing the Northern Lights, and I wish I would have. I don't think there was anything in Virginia, but maybe. I don't know. I didn't go outside. I probably should have. That's for sure. Saw the Northern Lights, spent some time outside. 0 out of 10 stars. Would not recommend. Went late to strange places. Hmm. Why does that sound like a song? I went out late to strange places. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. He's so cute. He's adorable. I'm glad he's doing well. We're going to get started here in court in just a second. Do me a favor and hit the share button if you have any social media. That would be awesome. Push that sucker out. Write a rap about it. About what? Oh, late to strange places 2 nights in a row. Let's see. Let's see, shall we? Let's see if I can do it real fast. What do you think? Oh, you guys want the whole thing? It gave me 2 verses, a bridge, an outro. Good grief. Include the part where... oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, this got longer. It got longer. Oh, this will be fun. All right. Late night in Portland, the city never sleeps. Streets are alive with secrets it keeps. Under neon lights, shadows dance and creep. I hit the pavement, exploring deep. Through the alleys and the dim lit lanes, where the graffiti whispers untold refrains. Lost in the maze of eclectic domains, every corner a story, every sight sustains. I really want to be Gandalf. From the Stumptown, from the Stumptown coffee to voodoo donut sweet, the flavors of the city of midnight feet. In the Pearl District where the hipsters meet, we vibe to the rhythm of the city's heartbeat. In Portland's strange places we roam tonight, underneath the stars chasing the moonlight. Every turn, every corner, a new sight. In the city that never sleeps, we take flight. Past pals' books where dreams take flight, where the scent of old pages fills the night. Through Chinatown where lanterns ignite and the spirits of the past ignite. That, you can't rhyme ignite with ignite. No. Mm-mm. Jeez. The hipsters don't like the pearl. The hipsters don't like the pearl. Did I say something about the? I probably did. Let's see. Here's verse 3. You get verse 3. Down by Burnside, where the nightlife's alive, teenagers hustle trying to survive. On the corner, they offer, yo, wanna buy cans of cola, but not just any kind. In whispered tones, they peddle their wares under flickering streetlights. Nobody cares. Selling coke in Portland, it's a dare to dance with danger in the midnight air. But in this city where weirdness is king, even the mundane takes on a strange wing. So we nod and we smile at the moment swing in the rhythm of Portland where oddities sing. Oh, that was fun. It takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to put lyrics like that together. Like, not that special. Not that special. I have about as much. You darn right it was. You darn right it was. Now I'm starting to think I better write some raps. That could be fun for Chandler Halderson. I wonder if there is. I wonder if it would do that. Um. Uh. No, it did not. I said write a rap about Chandler Halderson. It did not. It was all positive stuff, and I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. I was really hoping for like a swerve, and I didn't get a swerve. No swerves in this at all. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh man, we ought to get into this. We listen. If some of you guys shared this, thank you because viewership went up. No, no hype tracks for this guy. No, just a Will Smith rap with a really crappy hook. Oh, jeez. I'm like the BJ's brand of M&Ms. You know, I'm like the BJ's M&M, Walsley Farms or whatever they are. That's me for sure. All right, let's get started here. We ended in the middle of Chandler's ex-girlfriend's testimony, which is fascinating. The shirt? It says, when someone attacks one party member, we all roll initiative. It's one of my favorites, for sure. Oh, hold on, Mother's Day. I got out for Mother's Day, had fun with daughters and grands. Then I saw mother-in-law. Oh no, I hope she's doing okay. Aw. Well, I'm glad you got to see her. Also, thank you. Happy belated Mother's Day to fur baby moms, mother figures, all of that. And also know that I'm thinking about you because for those of you who Mother's Day is not the happiest of times, um, you are important. And so I keep you in my thoughts as much as I celebrate everybody else too. So thank you to you all. I would not be here without my mom. She will never come on this show, but I would not be here without her. Obviously, that's a really stupid phrase. I wouldn't be here without you. You're right. You wouldn't. That's how biology works. Let's, you know what? And that is a well-raised toaster strudel. There's a little bit of cannibalism in there though, but it's all right. Everybody loves a toaster strudel. All right, let's get started here, shall we? I think we shall. I'm gonna go,
and I think I'm
a couple of seconds here. All right.
We're going to start talking about events starting on June 30th and kind of all the way through July 8th at this point. And I think I'm going to let some of your messages guide our conversation. So I'm going to be walking back and forth quite a bit. But I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case is exhibit number 514. Just briefly, could you just page through that and tell us kind of what dates these text messages are from?
Night Court, a little bit of cannibalism.
June 30th of 2021, right?
Correct.
All right. And these are the messages between you and Chandler?
Correct.
I'll move 514 into evidence.
Any objection?
I'll bring up the same objection from the sidebar, but otherwise.
You know, I'm thinking about this now. Chandler looks like a friend of mine. I won't give you his name, but I will show you kind of a photo. I mean, with the mask on, he looks like this guy. One moment, please. Nope. Yep. Yes, I think so. Every time I see a side view of him, that's what it looks like to me. What happened? What happened? YouTube. Get it together. Good. Thank you.
They're all on June 30th.
June 30th of 2021, right?
Correct.
All right. And these are the messages between you and Chandler?
Correct.
I'll move 514 into evidence.
Any objection?
I'll bring up the same objection from the sidebar, but otherwise no.
All right. And based upon the same ruling, they are received and they may be shown.
I'm going to start showing them, and I'm going to ask for some context because we're picking up, obviously, in the middle of thousands of pages of messages, maybe. But the first message is a message from you. To be honest, it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly. What was this about on June 30th, 3:18 in the afternoon?
About him being grounded and not being able to see me or hang out.
Grounded?
What was your understanding at that time of what was going on from Chandler? What did he tell you? He was grounded?
Yes.
Were you wanting to see him?
You get
Yes.
nothing.
And what did he tell you about whether he could see you?
Good day, sir.
He couldn't
Because of what?
because I wasn't allowed over.
You communicated with Krista a lot, right?
Yes.
When you say that, was Chandler telling you that, or did you actually hear that from Krista or Bart?
From Chandler.
Okay. And you say, it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly. And Chandler says, can you read that for me?
It's fine, B. That'll only piss them off more.
And what does he say?
This weekend will be great.
That weekend was the 4th of July weekend coming up, right?
Correct.
You say, now we're still June 30th, we're about 3:19 in the afternoon. You say, okay. And he says what?
Thanks, though.
And then on June 30th in the afternoon, you send this message next. What does that say?
We're not going to the cabin, right?
So in the realm of messages, where the cabin, the first time the jury's seen that, how did this come up, or what was going on where you sent this message?
I was under
I
the
hope
impression
nobody
that
has the
Mr.
phone
and
numbers
Mrs.
anymore.
Halderson were going up to the cabin for the 4th of July weekend.
Was that conversations or like over the phone or in person you'd had with Chandler, or was that?
Over the phone.
Okay. And you ask, we're not going to the cabin, are we? What does Chandler say?
No.
You say, I can ask if we can go to the farm, right?
Correct.
And that ended up coming to fruition. You did that.
Yes.
You read that last message you sent?
That way we can say my mom can care for you since they have a lot of stuff here that they use for Mike and Papa.
your mom and Cress testified. Who are Mike and Papa in general, and what did that mean that there was stuff there for them?
Mike is Cress's brother, and Papa is her father. Papa is elderly. He is over 90 years of age. And Mike is wheelchair bound and needs help going to the restroom. And overall, my mom helps take care of them.
Okay. What kind of stuff were you talking about that there was stuff there?
Walkers. If you needed
Like zombie walkers?
one of those stools that you put over the toilet so an elderly person can sit down or they don't have to squat so low since it's hard for their knees.
Oh, walk. JT, catch up. Catch up, JT.
Okay. Was it your impression that Chandler would be assisted by some of those things?
Chandler was probably one of those two.
Oh boy, no. It's bacon!
Hey, Shanka. Hey, is Bacon Bit there? Is Bacon Bit around? Because Bacon Bit now has 2 official sound effects from me. Hopefully she is. We'll keep going until I get an answer.
No.
Why did you say that there was stuff there for them?
So we'd be able to hang out since his mom was very concerned about his injury.
Okay. The next day, Thursday, July 1st, you worked that day?
Can you repeat the date?
Sure, Thursday, July 1st, so before the 4th of July weekend.
Correct.
You have a...
Yes! All right, so we got this one.
No. It's bacon!
I have 2 for Bacon Bit. Here's the first one.
Legend.
Here's the second one.
Wait for it. Dairy. Legendary.
a normal job, normal type of hours, right?
Correct.
That's for you, Bacon Bit.
Weekdays.
Correct.
Okay. Hopefully just weekdays, right? Showing you what's been marked is exhibit number 516. And I know it might be in a different form than usual, but in general, do you have an idea of what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
Snapchat messages.
And who are they with?
Chandler.
And Chandler's, to the best you can, I know these are people make up names, but what was Chandler's Snapchat name?
Chazzle Dazzle.
Chazzle Dazzle. And
Give 'em the old chazzle dazzle, lie your pants right off. Oh, Chandler, always good for a laugh. I can't. I can't. How did he do that with a straight face? No, it never would have been. And all I could think of was Chicago, Razzle Dazzle, which is perfect because it's all about lying. It's all about lying. I need to write a parody. I do. I need a pen. Somebody give me a pen. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey everybody, keep everybody down in the South in your thoughts. They're getting hit with some pretty bad weather right now. A couple of our mods are down there, and so, think positive vibes, please.
significant parts of this are redacted out. In the course of sending Snapchat, sometimes you send just, in general, people are sending pictures back and forth, and part of what we've done in this case is just redact any photographs that we really thought we could, right?
Correct.
Okay. I kept one on though, just to prove that's you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is 516 Snapchat messages between July 1st and July 7th between you and Chandler?
Correct.
All right, I'll move 516 into evidence.
Any objection?
Same objection as the text messages.
Same ruling that it is received may be published.
I need you to tell us about Snapchat. I don't know what everyone's understanding is. Everyone's of different ages. Some people have a Snapchat, some people don't. Just in general, what is Snapchat?
Snapchat is a social media app where you can send photos with titles, or you can send messages through the chat part of the app.
And what is one of the features of Snapchat that it's primarily known for that text messages maybe aren't?
They aren't generally saved.
They delete, right?
Correct.
Okay.
No, they don't. No, they do not. You can't tell me at this point in technology that she seriously thinks they delete. They are on a server somewhere. It is just a server full of unwanted dick pics and everything else under the sun. It never just goes away.
Is there a way to manually save messages or photos on Snapchat?
Yes.
Not today,
Is it easy or is it
Not
hard?
today.
I find it easy.
What do you do?
You hold down the text and you select save.
And if you save the message, if you're communicating right now with Snapchat with one of your friends and they send you a snap, if you click on it and look and do nothing, that message will delete, right?
I think he's more puce.
Sometimes.
But if you could manually save it, right? By putting your finger down and saving it.
Correct. Or if you change the settings to delete within 24 hours.
Sometimes when you snapped with Chandler, one
Totally
or both
puce.
of you would save the messages.
Correct.
And those messages are what we're looking at here, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Come back.
Would you say Snapchat is your primary
Dairy.
form of communication, Chandler?
Legendary.
One of them.
So I'm going to display 516 and we'll start going through some things here in a second. But we left one photograph on just to prove that's you, right?
Correct.
Okay. And we'll redact the rest. And for obvious reasons, we don't want everything coming out. But on July 1st of 2021 at 7-Eleven, you get a message, right?
7-Eleven.
From Chandler?
Correct.
What does it say?
How do you sleep?
And you say, I slept good. How did you sleep? And how does he respond?
I hardly slept.
He gives you kind of a emoji
Join the
face.
courtyard.
You say, I'm sorry, B. Why? Can you read Chandler's message back to you after you say why?
I don't know. Stuff hasn't really been going well for me lately, so I'm trying to plan for the next thing to fuck me over.
Okay. After that, Chandler sends another message, and we'll try to get it in the right spot. And can you read that?
Yeah, I just had a great future planned and it's falling apart.
And you say, no, it's not. You're going to be okay.
Oh,
Reassuring him.
good
Correct.
grief.
You respond, you're going to go to Florida. You even said it's probably just the brace, probably just the brace, right?
Correct.
He says, thanks. You say, of course, I love you, and I'm here to keep your booty in check.
So
Correct.
you're telling me there's a chance?
Now we're up to 7. Say back to you.
There's a bit of a glare.
Sure.
Thank you. Will you leave me even if it doesn't work? Worded bad, but you understand.
You respond, no, I wouldn't. And he says,
I won't stop trying.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be
you say, like,
suspicious. Oh,
Florida
shit,
would be
we're
so
suspicious.
dope and like nice, but I'm not dating you for money. I love you tons.
Correct.
What does he say?
I love you a ton too. By the way, I'm not giving up. I'm just worried.
You say, don't worry, love. Don't be worried, love. It'll work out.
Correct.
And he says, thank you, B. You say, of course. Now we're up to 8:30. He says, you helped me a ton,
Just dumb.
right?
Just dumb.
Correct.
Other than these messages, these Snapchat messages that morning, were you and Chandler communicating by phone or anything else around 7:30 into 8:30 in the morning on July 1st of 2021 that you remember?
I don't remember.
Now that's a weekday, and I think you said you were working that day.
Correct.
About what time do you go to work?
Wait for it.
8:30 since I was working close.
And if you had to work at 8:30, is that what time you would leave or what time you'd get there?
I have to be clocked in by 8:30.
Okay. What time would you have to leave where you're staying then to get to work by 8:30?
8 o'clock, 8:10.
Okay. When you're at work, I think we all maybe send an occasional message or two, but are you frequently on your phone a lot at work or only when you just have a second?
Don't be suspicious. Don't
When I
be
have a minute.
Do you have a busy job?
I do.
At some point that day, you and Chandler switch back to texting as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm showing you it's been marked in this case as exhibit number 515.
1st, 2021.
All right. And
His entire
this
life
appear
was
to
a
be
gaslight.
a couple pages of text messages between you two.
Agreed.
All right. I'll move 515 into evidence.
Any objection other than the standing
Give
objection?
him the old chazzle dazzle.
They are received. And they may be published.
Razzle dazzle them.
All right. Maybe try one more light on, Judge. We'll see if we can
Or just brighten the screen.
get this. Can you see that, Kat, or no?
Correct. I
Says
can.
yes.
Okay.
With a smiley face.
I'm going to try on mine to fix things up a little bit. Starts with just you talking, and eventually there's a message from Chandler on the 1st at 1:02 p.m. And I'll move it down so it's out of the light. But can you tell me what that message says?
Sorry, forgot to tell you, but Mom did okay you hanging out with us all weekend.
Sorry, and I think I said Chandler. I meant you, right? Did you send that message or did Chandler?
I did.
Okay. Your mom okayed you guys hanging out.
Correct.
Was that at the farm and things like that?
Correct.
Aren't they like 20?
Chandler responds,
21.
awesome. And
Am I wrong?
what do you say back to him?
Yeah, so convince your parents hard.
And that was at 1:03 on the 1st. What did you mean by that? Convince your parents hard?
I meant to convince his parents to let us hang out.
Why would he need to convince his parents based on what you knew at the time? What was going on?
He wasn't able to hang out around that time.
Hey,
And then at
Bells.
1:03, just after that,
Hope you're doing okay.
Chandler sends you a message. What does that say?
I overheard that they might go to the cabin with their friends, but IDK.
Of the cabin from
5 o'clock.
when you get home that day, do you remember what you did?
I don't remember.
Did you and Chandler FaceTime a lot?
Yes.
Kind of a weird question, but I have to ask. Did you sometimes FaceTime when you guys were showering?
Yes.
Okay.
Called out.
Sometimes you take screenshots of Chandler.
Yes.
You took a lot of screenshots on your phone, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you it's been marked in this case as 517. Is that one of those screenshots?
Yes.
Did you take that night, sometime after you got home from work, while FaceTiming with Chandler?
Yes.
Okay. We'll move 517 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It's not a nude photograph, too, I'll note for the court.
I'm sorry?
It's above the waist.
Oh, understood. It is received, it may be published.
And just briefly, that's kind of the FaceTime setup, but that's Chandler. And the background, does that appear to be the shower at the Halderson home?
Yes.
They have a big,
Can we all simply say that if we were FaceTimed and that's what we saw, I would want to turn it off. Just a thought.
shower in that house.
Yes.
And it's Chandler looking into his phone and you snap the screenshot.
Pardon?
You snap that screenshot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any plans to hang out with Chandler that night as far as you remember?
Not that night.
Okay. But you were communicating a lot?
Correct.
Later that night, at some point, Judge, if you could turn.
What did you? This is what you missed. That picture right there. That screenshot should have come with a trigger warning. 100%. Blech. Blech, blech. Oh, hey, guess what happens when you hit the 0 button instead? Go me. Nope, that's the stream. That's not going to help us at all. Sorry, everybody. One moment. Yikes.
Did you have any plans to hang out with Chandler that night?
Correct.
Wait, what name? On what? On what? On the image? We're going back. We're going back. We're going to take it back for a second. Where's the... What name? I get it now.
Later that night, at some point, Judge, if you could turn the lights on just briefly for the witness.
You guys...
There's some additional messages. Around 8:30 at night, Chandler sends you a couple of messages. Could you just, there's one with an emoji, but could you read out the two that have text?
Baby, I need you.
Baby, I need you.
Yes.
Did you know what that was in reference to?
I don't recall.
Okay. And later there's discussion of him looking at your Snapchat location and wondering where you were.
Correct.
Okay. And I think I said 8, but it's in military time, so that would be 6:30-ish or so. Okay.
Which exhibit were those in, counsel?
Sure. I was referencing exhibit 516.
Thank you.
So around 6:30 or so, when Chandler sends you the message, baby, I need you, do you recall talking to him after that, verbally?
I don't recall.
Now, we'll talk, I think I mentioned something about Snapchat locations. Does another feature of Snapchat have anything to do with your location?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Is there a location feature on Snapchat with your friends that you can look at their location?
Correct, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's a
You
little
can
much.
select certain friends to view your location, or anyone who is on your friends list can view it.
In your and Chandler's relationship, was that something you did with each other?
Correct.
And was it reciprocal? Both of you did that?
Correct.
When this was going on during your relationship, was it your intention that anytime you'd open Snapchat, you'd, in theory, be able to see exactly where he was?
Correct.
And him the same for you?
Correct.
Were you aware at all of what Chandler's plans were the night of the 1st, when you were either FaceTiming while he was in the shower or any conversation? Did he talk at all about what he was doing that night?
Thought he would be taking care of the dogs and was going to make dinner.
Is that what you kids are calling it these days?
Did he mention, or do you recall
murder.
if he said anything about where his parents were on that day?
He said they were doing a grocery pickup.
Okay.
May I have a break?
You may.
This is a good time to take a break. I think we can. We're approaching, I try to do them every 90 minutes, and we're pretty close to that. And sometimes the after lunch break can come a little bit earlier and be wise. So let's take 10 minutes, both for the jury and for the witness and the party.
Last couple of questions. Evening.
Continue with the examination, please.
All right. Where I think we left off, we're still on Thursday, July 1st, going into the evening. We looked at the FaceTime Snapchat you took, and then maybe some snaps that were sent to you, baby, I need you, things of that sort, right? Okay.
Correct.
And I think my last question to you, or in the last couple of questions, was, did you know what Chandler was going to be doing that night?
I don't recall.
But you weren't with him?
I was not with him.
Around that time, a couple things were going on, I guess, according to your testimony so far. Chandler was grounded in some respect.
Correct.
Did you have any knowledge from Chandler about how long he was grounded for, or the duration of that?
No, just that we weren't allowed to hang out.
Okay. So the weekend and the parents being gone was going to change that?
Yes.
These physical symptoms that we talked about with Chandler and the concussion, I think you'd mentioned maybe kind of having some leg issues and couldn't lift things of that sort.
Correct.
Were those all going on that date as far as you know?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case. 118, 519, 520. I'll direct your attention to the top right of that. 521, 522, 523, and 524. In general, are these photos of Chandler?
Yes.
And what action is he performing in these photos?
Carrying large bags of ice.
Did anybody think she would be saying something different? My brain went to, oh, I don't know if I can show these.
Hello.
Alrighty then.
And to your knowledge, based on all of your conversations and observations of Chandler, on July 1st of 2021, was this activity, the carrying of ice, was that inconsistent with what you knew his physical limitations to be?
Correct.
There's two bags, right?
Yes.
And at one point, they're both even in one hand, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to sit these exhibits aside for now. We're not going to receive them into evidence just yet. So if those photographs were taken the night of July 1st, that'd be surprising to you.
Yes.
Going into the next day, the day before the weekend, I guess. So now we're into July 2nd, which is a Friday. Did you work as normal that day?
Yes.
And kind of as before, maybe messaging with Chandler throughout the day?
Yes.
What were your general plans that Friday? Do you recall?
To stop at Target, stop at my apartment, stop at my mom's home.
You forgot a step. Stop at Target. Have a list of 1 or 2 things. Grab 15. Leave. Full story, ma'am. Not a partial answer.
Home and then go to Chandler's.
And what were you and Chandler going to do?
Hang out, have a sleepover.
Were you excited about this?
Yes.
How long had it been at that time that Chandler had been in this being kind of grounded state where you hadn't seen him a lot?
Good night, Wendy. Don't go.
About 2 weeks.
Okay. As you left work that day, did you have to go to Target to pick some stuff up?
Yes.
What were you picking up in general? Maybe I'll ask a better question. Was it groceries?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you it's been marked as Exhibit 525. What is that?
Pork chops,
Objection,
oat
bleeding.
milk, cheese.
Sure. Is this from the Hilldale Target?
Yes.
Do you do the pickups at Target or do you go in and shop?
I do the pickups.
Okay. So like a lot of people during COVID, you've done the pickup thing where you order ahead?
Correct.
Okay. And I'll move 525 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received. It may be published.
Not crazy exciting for everyone, but it's the Hilldale Targets picked up at 529. Hilldale here in Madison, kind of down University Avenue, right?
Correct.
All right. Got a couple things, some pork chops.
Correct. Correct.
Some oat milk, some cheese, normal stuff, right?
Correct.
But you didn't stop there. You went to another Target, didn't you?
Yes.
How does that work that you end up at 2 Targets in the same day?
If something isn't available at one Target, I will order it at another and then go pick it up from there.
Okay. So you went to multiple Targets.
Correct.
And
There
so
are other
there we see
stores.
Madison East Target at 637, right?
Correct.
You got a watermelon.
Correct.
Yep.
Awesome.
Correct.
Were you taking these things over to the Halderson house?
Some of them, yes.
And when you pick things up at Target, you've done this a lot, I would imagine.
Very often.
Do they put any sort of stickers or markings on the bag to indicate this is for you?
Yes.
In general, just describe what goes on those bags.
It is a barcode for them to scan after they receive my order, and it has my first initial and last name.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case as exhibit number 526. Maybe some more messages, but take a look at that. Does that appear to be text messages between me and Chandler there that day on the 2nd, July 2nd,
Correct.
starting in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. I'll move 526 into evidence.
Subject to the standing
Talk about
objection.
brand
It is
loyalty.
received.
And so, in fact, kind of first thing maybe you say to him that day is you got to go to both Targets for your groceries.
Yep.
That's 923. And then you're going to take some of them to your mom's.
Yes.
Tell me just real quick, and we're not going to talk about addresses, but general living situation at the time, back in July of last year. Did you live with your mom?
No.
Did you have an apartment?
Yes.
And would you sometimes stay at your apartment?
Yes.
Sometimes at your mom's?
How are you dating this dude?
Chandler says,
How?
okay.
Were
At 923.
Wait a second. Who's grounded? Chandler. He's like 23. She has her own apartment. Y'all. You all.
And then on July 2nd at 9
Stupid does, sir.
after you talk about Target, can you read that message from Chandler to you?
Don't rush. I have tons of chores they are having me do.
You say, okay. And then you talk about what you're having for dinner. Maybe burgers, maybe chili.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. He's killed his parents. He's tried to burn them. He's cut them up. And he's asking for burgers or chili. It's like a horror modern version of Sweeney Todd. Gross. That's a real good point.
Talk more about what you're going to have for dinner. He says, I don't know. What would you like? And you say, depends on how long we see each other, talking about in general what you're going to do and what you're going to eat.
Oh, well, he doesn't have any time
Read
limits
what
now.
Chandler sent you on the 2nd of July at just before 10 in the morning at 9:58.
We could do dinner tonight and you can come over in the morning again and stay till Sunday night.
Did that message strike you as odd of coming over, leaving, and coming back?
Yes.
What?
Because I was already going to be there and I thought our plan was for the whole weekend.
Can't with this dude,
So
man.
he says that you could come over for dinner and then the in between what's not written, but your impression was you'd leave and then come back the next day.
Can you say that a little louder, please?
Sure. Was it your impression from this message that Chandler was telling you that you would leave that night and come back the next morning?
Correct.
Probably his
So he
subgenre on
says
Pornhub.
that,
I don't know.
and then he says,
They call them bricklayers and fire starters.
like dinner
gone too
plus
far.
the sex to you, right?
Yeah.
My.
And you ask him, why leave and come back if I'm just going to stay? And can you read Chandler's response?
So I can get some chores done.
Did you know what chores he was talking about at this time?
I don't recall.
It blows my mind that he basically called taking care of his parents chores.
I'm going to show you another exhibit marked 527 in this case. Just in general, do those appear to be more text messages between the two of you on July 2nd?
Yes.
I'll move 527 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
They are received. They may be published.
Considerable discussion about what you're going to eat, yes, toppings. You're going to check some buns. There's talk of all the burger ingredients. You're talking about food, right?
Correct.
At 12:14, Chandler sends you this message. What does that say?
We set for this. We just need ice.
Do you know what you needed ice for?
Chandler likes ice in his drinks, or sometimes we put it in a pool for the dogs.
Did you buy ice and take it to the house?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I don't remember at the moment.
Do you remember if that day when you went over, you put ice in a pool for the dogs or anything like that?
No.
And just after that, Chandler sends you another message. Can you read that?
And hydrogen peroxide because I stepped on glass.
Is that the first you had heard?
Did it happen to be the glass of the fireplace, maybe?
About any sort of injury?
Yes.
Now, after this message was sent, are we looking at the whole communication, or was there like a phone call or anything like that, or is this all you knew?
I don't remember.
You respond, more talk about groceries. I'll bring spicy cheese and pickled jalapenos.
I missed it too.
Yes.
Okay. And
Wait, I didn't hear the snacks. Hold on.
pickled jalapenos. You respond, more talk about groceries. I'll bring spicy cheese and pickled jalapenos.
Spicy cheese and pickled jalapenos.
Yes.
Okay. And again, and I apologize, no one likes to see their messages probably on a giant screen, but it just, in general, you say, and Jesus, you're kind of just making a joke that you'll bring Jesus with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, because he needs them.
Chandler responds at 12:16, yes, please, but then quickly follows up. Can you read that last message?
But for real, if your mom has an extra bottle, that would be great. And a Swiffer wet jet.
Extra bottle, and were you?
And there was
your
much
belief that you were
rejoicing.
referring to hydrogen peroxide?
Correct.
You respond almost immediately. We have both. He says thanks, and it'll be the end of Exhibit 527. Had Chandler ever asked you to bring hydrogen peroxide over before, as far as you remember?
Not that I remember.
You should have got Target, Jesus. I might have
Did you, in
helped.
fact, bring him hydrogen peroxide?
Yes.
Where'd you get it?
From my mom's house.
Took her bottle?
Yes.
And what about a Swiffer mop?
From my mom's house.
You took that to Chandler's?
Yes.
I'm sure it's been marked in this case. It's exhibit number 528. What is that?
My mom's home.
That's your mom's?
Yes.
And is that the Swiffer?
Yes.
Is that the one you took to Chandler's?
Yes.
All right, I'll move 528 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received. It may be published.
Not anything spectacular, but police eventually came over and asked where the Swiffer was, and that's where it was, and they took a picture, right?
Yep.
The bottle of hydrogen peroxide and the Swiffer go with you as you're kind of making your way from Target to your mom's and then to Chandler's that night, right?
Correct.
When you get over to Chandler's house, do you take the bags of groceries inside, or do they go inside at some point?
Yes.
And the hydrogen peroxide
Yes.
and the Swiffer.
Yes.
When you first go in the house that day, did you notice anything off?
Poor Chandler. No. Bad chord. Poor Chandler. Upstaged by Alex Murdaugh. Looks like he finally did get the last laugh.
There was a smoky smell.
Did Chandler tell you more about, did he explain why there was a smoky smell?
Because he was playing catch with Rizzo in the house and the glass shattered in the fireplace. And so the smell got into the home.
Rizzo is a dog, right?
Correct, the border collie.
How did Chandler say the glass broke with the dog?
He was throwing the ball in the house.
Did you look into that any further? Did you go over to that fireplace and poke around?
No.
Was there, in fact, a glass panel broken on it?
Yes.
You stayed the night there that night, right?
Correct.
Where did you all sleep?
On the couches pushed together.
And where were those in the house?
We saw it.
In the lower living room by the fireplace.
Around this time, Chandler
Bet
had
you
a
his neck
bedroom,
felt
right?
pretty good around then.
Yes.
Had a bed.
Yes.
Did he explain to you why you were sleeping in a kind of like a fort in the living room?
To be with the dogs and watch TV on the bigger screen.
Had you ever done that before in staying at Chandler's house?
No.
At the time, did it strike you as odd?
No.
That room you slept in in kind of the couch fort pushed together. The jury's seen it, by the way. They've seen photographs and the video. That was in the same room as the fireplace that had the broken panel, right?
Yes.
It was near the bathroom as well, right?
Objection.
Was it
Leading
near the bathroom?
questions.
You may answer that question. The question was rephrased in light of the objection.
Can you repeat it, please?
Was it near the bathroom where you were sleeping?
Yes.
That night, do you recall anything unique or special about sleeping, or was it kind of a normal night other than the fort?
The girls, the dogs, Rizzo and Izzy, were riled up because of the fireworks.
That's not why they were riled up, dear.
Was there a TV in that room?
Yes.
Were you watching TV as you went to sleep?
Yes.
Do you know whether Chandler slept at all that night, or do you not know?
I don't know.
While you were with Chandler that night, did he say anything about where his parents were?
Up north at their cabin.
Had you ever been to the cabin before?
No.
What did you know about the cabin?
Mrs. Halderson's father built it. There's a skull on the outside. It's by a lake. And they'd go up there often, whether to change the window panes or do work on it.
Now, you stayed there that night, stayed in the couch fort thing in the fireplace room. The next day, did you stay there or did you leave?
I left
Early?
very early.
Okay. Camera showed you leaving about 6:55. Would that be about right?
Yes.
Okay. And that day, you and Chandler continued texting a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I apologize. I just found one more set of messages I wanted to talk about from the night before, just before you got to the house.
One
and you were doing
more.
target pickups.
We forgot
Exhibit
one more.
529. Is that a series of messages kind of after you got off work?
Yes.
All right, I'll move 529 into evidence.
Any
Correct.
objection other than the standing objection?
No.
They are received.
My apologies for just going backwards just a second. But before you got to Chandler's the night before with the groceries, 520, you tell him you're going to keep your clothes in your car. And Chandler, again, says something about peroxide. Can you read that message?
Okay. I do kind of need the Swifter and peroxide and stuff.
Okay. So that's the third time that day he had texted
Need
you
it.
about peroxide
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
to bring it, right?
Yes.
I don't understand how she didn't notice the smell.
So the next day you wake up early and you leave before 7. And I think you said you were in communication with Chandler all day. I'll show you exhibit number 531. Is that a series of messages ending on the last one on the second and then starting again on the third?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you it's marked as 530. Just in general, what is that photograph?
Chandler walking to Fleet Farm.
You know that location?
Yes.
Okay. I'll move 531 and 530 into evidence.
Any objection other than the standing objection?
Can we approach real quick?
Sure.
You could have just asked to get up and stretch. You didn't have to, like, I don't know. I like how they went to a commercial break as if it was going to take a while.
Early. It was a Saturday. Now we're into July 3rd.
My plans for the day?
Yeah, what was your general plans?
Go to my mom's, hang out with the dogs, Chewbacca and Muffin. see my brother and have Chandler
muffin.
come over later.
And that night, what were you going to do?
See the fireworks with my brother.
That day when you left, were you aware of what Chandler's plans were?
To do chores.
He had mentioned chores a couple times. What was your understanding of chores? Did he tell you?
I don't remember.
I'm going to show you. Actually, I already did. 531's received into evidence at this point.
Yes.
Okay. You're texting Chandler in the morning. First one, 7:32. You said breakfast burrito. What was this in reference to?
What we were going to eat when he came over later.
Okay. Something you're going to make or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. You read his message for us?
Sounds good. I'm doing shit kind of slowly, to be honest.
I don't think he
Kinda
was
slow.
lying at that point.
It's at 7:46.
I bet he was.
You say, I could have helped you this morning?
Yes.
No.
What was that in reference
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, you couldn't have. Mm-mm. D-
Not today, Satan. Not today.
to?
Doing his chores.
Did he ask you to help him?
No.
And why did you send that message that you would have helped him?
Since I thought he was having a hard time with his legs and the injury, I could have helped him get it done easier and it wouldn't have been as hard for him.
He responds 7:47. Can you read his response?
Yeah, I know. I'll be right back. Going to the dump.
You read your response to that at 7:48.
B, did you load the car by yourself? You can barely walk. I should have at least helped you with that.
Chandler tell you
Very
when he was
nice
taken
of
to the
you.
dump?
I don't remember.
At some point he texts you though at 7:49. What does he say?
Never mind. It's closed.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine doing anything that he did pre-move. But then you get the stuff in the car to go to what you think is a good idea, the dump, and it's closed. You just sit there and panic. Oh my God, what's next?
And you reference it's the holiday weekend.
Correct.
And shit. Holiday weekend and shit. Ma'am. This is just kind of what happens.
At some point, just a series of messages from you, and then this one comes at 8:38. What do you say there?
Hey, did you pass out?
That's a question mark. Why would you send a message like that, or why did you send a message like that?
Follow-up question mark.
I was worried because of
Classic.
the head injury. If he's overexerting himself, he might push himself too hard and pass out.
Okay. And you had sent him a series of messages that he hadn't responded to. Correct?
Correct.
Now, that morning, when you left the house early, you've already testified that he was going to do chores, and then there was some text about the dump. Did Mr. Halderson say he was going anywhere else that you knew of that morning?
Not at that time.
Did he say anything to you about going to Fleet Farm, that's kind of farm supply store out near Windsor, that morning?
Not that I
I
recall.
believe so.
Did you know he was going there?
No.
I'll move to display 530.
You may.
Is that Chandler walking into Fleet Farm?
Yes.
And if that was a screenshot of
Ma'am.
a video taken that morning just after you left, you don't know anything about why you'd be there, right?
No.
At some point that day, after you left, did you notice that Chandler was did you look at his Snapchat map to look at where he was?
Yes.
And did you become worried or concerned in some way?
Yes.
Showing it's been marked as exhibit number 532. What is that?
A screenshot of Chandler by the Wisconsin River.
Okay. And how's he labeled? What's his name there?
Hubby,
And what time is that?
8:58.
Okay. I think previously I said the second, I meant the third. We're now into Saturday, but was this taken on Saturday morning?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you take this screenshot of Chandler's location?
Because she had questions.
I didn't know why he was there, and so I was curious.
Did you know where this location was?
Yes.
And how did you know where this location was?
I'd been there before with Chandler.
Tell us about it.
It's a little spot where we can park our car and walk down to the Wisconsin River for swimming.
How many times do you think you've been there?
Two or three times.
I'm going to move to publish 532.
You may. Was it received? Okay.
Is this that screenshot?
Yes.
And that's the location, right?
Yes.
What did you do when you saw that?
Pardon?
Yeah, what did you do when you saw that location? You took a screenshot. Did you do anything else with that information?
I asked him what he was doing there.
She saved it for an argument.
And what did he respond?
He was going to pick up CBD and he was passing through there.
He was passing through. Did you try to call him?
Yes.
Were you able to talk to him?
Yes.
Do you recall anything else from that conversation about what he said or why he was where he was?
He picked up.
He was picking up CBD for the pain. He don't want to tell me that he was picking up CBD because he was scared I was going to be disappointed in him.
Cry me a river.
And around that time that you took that screenshot, was that when all of these messages were being sent that we looked at in this exhibit where no one was responding to you? Ending with, hey, did you pass out?
That was before I took the screenshot.
Right. Same morning though?
Same morning, yes.
In a van.
Were you
Down
having
by
trouble communicating
the
with
river.
Chandler that morning between 8 and 9, essentially?
Yes.
Prior to, well, I said a different way. When was the last time you were at that location, that out by the Wisconsin River with Chandler, approximately?
That summer with his friend Smith.
Is that Andrew Smith?
I don't know his first name. He always just went by Smith.
Okay. What was your understanding of how Chandler knew this Smith guy?
They were
I heard
video
that
game
excuse from
buddies.
cops one time.
The rest of that day, July 3rd, I think you had mentioned that there was some plans to meet up later, fireworks, something like that.
Yes.
Tell me about that. You went to some fireworks?
Yes, I went to see fireworks with my brother and a friend of his.
Did Chandler go with you?
No.
Did you see Chandler again that day?
Yes, he stopped by to eat and we watched some TV together and then he left before my brother came home.
Okay. Was that your house or your mom's house?
My mom's home.
How was he acting that day?
Welcome to the party, pal.
And I feel like that needs to be
Exhausted.
celebrated.
Did you ask him about that, being tired?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I don't remember.
That night, after Chandler left your house and you went to the fireworks, did you see each other again that night?
No. I stayed at my mom's home.
And Chandler was not with you?
No.
Did you know what his plans were? Did he tell you what he was going to do that night?
Take care of the dogs because they get riled up with fireworks and do more chores.
This night or any of the nights we're talking about in question from that whole kind of week period from the 30th till the 8th of July, but specifically this night, do you know of any reason or did Chandler mention anything to you about a reason to go up near the Wisconsin River at night near Portage?
No.
And was there ever, in your mind, did you ever know of any plan for Chandler late at night, 10 or even later, to be up in that area?
No.
Next day, the 4th of July.
Depends on if he itemized it or
Slept at
not.
your mom's, Chandler slept at his house. 4th of July. What's the general plan that day for you?
To grab
It's called the
breakfast
murderer
with
do
my brother's
list.
friend. Have Chandler come over so we could all go to the farm, do some shopping with my brother and his friend, and then that night go back to Chandler's.
Okay. There was a plan to go to the farm.
Yes.
Legend. Wait for it.
Who all went to the farm that day for the 4th of July?
Legendary.
Chandler, myself, my brother, and his friend all went, but my mother, Cress, and Mike and Papa were there as well.
When you got to the farm, were you with Chandler most of the time?
Yes.
Did you walk around the property at all?
Yes, but not very far since he couldn't walk.
What kind of things did you talk about while you and Chandler were walking, whatever distance you did around the property?
About how far back the property goes, which I talk about often with people. The wildflowers.
When you say how far back the property goes, what do you mean by
The
that?
dandelions.
Whenever I bring people there, I generally point out where our property line ends.
To your knowledge, had Chandler ever been there alone?
Not
She brings them to the house and stands them on top of the shed and goes, Simba, everything the light touches is ours.
before then.
And had he been there often with you prior to this?
Yes.
That night, the 4th of July, you're at the farm. What type of things do you do in general at the farm that night?
We walked to the chicken coop to see the chickens. We ate with my family. We did a little walk up to the pool, and then we later swam in the pool.
He sure walks a lot.
Did Chandler get in the pool?
Yes.
And
Did he have a
how
shirt
late
on?
would you, if you had to guess, how late were you at the
'Cause Chris
farm that
didn't.
night?
I don't recall the time.
Did you leave at some point and go somewhere else?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
I drove my brother's friend back to our home with Chandler. And by home, I mean my mom's home. And he left, and I picked up my clothes.
And where did you sleep that night?
Is this Sunday, the 4th?
Sure. This is the 4th of July. Yep, Sunday.
I slept at Chandler's home that night.
Okay. So when you say you picked up your clothes, what do you mean by that?
I started a load of laundry at my mom's home and it was left in the wash, and I brought it to Chandler's to dry it in his dryer.
And in Chandler's home, where's the laundry at?
The laundry room is right next to his room, which is on the upper story where his parents' room and the guest room is.
Did you and Chandler do anything else that night once you got back over to the Halderson place?
We put my clothes in the dryer and then went to his mom's coworker's home, Dan.
What'd you do there?
Lit off some fireworks.
Anything unique happen lighting off fireworks, or is that just a normal thing?
Normal for the 4th.
Chandler burn himself at all?
Not that I remember.
Do you remember at any point Chandler burning himself the entire weekend or week you were with him?
He said when he was making burgers for me, he burned it on the grill.
Did you see that, or is that what he just said?
Pardon?
Did you see that happen, or just nobody said?
That's what he said.
That night, did you sleep in the couch fort again or somewhere else?
On the bed in his room.
Okay. Why, was there any discussion with Chandler about why now it's okay to sleep in the bed versus on the couch fort?
The couch was bothering my back.
That night, was it a peaceful night's sleep both in the bed, or was it restless a little bit?
It was restless.
Tell me about that.
The dogs were freaking out with the fireworks. At one point, Izzy, the older dog, who's around 15, fell down the stairs.
It does say 24/7.
And it was hard to keep them calm with all the fireworks going off.
What did Chandler do when the dog fell down the stairs?
When she fell down the stairs, he laid down with her and was making sure she was okay and petting her.
Were you asleep at that time in his room?
No, I wasn't asleep.
Okay. Were you and Chandler, about how long was Chandler away from you that night while you guys were sleeping? Where you were in his room, excuse me.
Can you say that a little louder?
Yeah, you mentioned that Chandler went downstairs with the dog. About how long of a period was he away from you dealing with that?
I don't know.
Dog was like, "I'm fine, man. You stink. Get out of
What were
here."
your plans the next day?
To go to work.
Back to Monday, so now it's a weekday, right?
Yes.
So you woke up and you left for work early, I would imagine?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you an exhibit marked in this case as 533. This appear to be the text messages, at least some of them between you and Chandler that day, Monday, July 5th.
Yes.
Okay, I'll move 533 into evidence.
Any objection other than the standing objection? They are received. They may be published.
I'm a stream for humans and canines.
I'm going to go to the second page. In general, you're texting about work life, your work, frustrations maybe.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, as far as you knew, were you going to be at this job that you were at long term?
I was under the impression I would leave in August.
And where were you going to go?
Down to Florida.
I have a
11:30
standing objection.
on the 5th. What does Chandler text you?
Skipping. It's skipping.
Don't piss them off till we know for sure we are moving.
And you respond, I won't.
Correct?
He says, okay. You say something else. You say, Greyhound isn't too expensive for a trip to Titusville. You say that at 11:46 on the 5th. What is that about?
Since Chandler expressed he couldn't fly down to Titusville, we were looking at alternatives for him to go. And I looked at Greyhound prices.
When you say we were looking at alternatives, who was more so looking at alternatives, you or him?
Me.
You?
Yes.
I
You
bet
say
you were. I
Greyhound
bet
is
you were.
expensive, no pressure, just saying.
Correct.
You read what Chandler says?
Nope. 870 for a straight shot to Orlando.
And you respond, what? All this occurring just before the noon hour on Monday. And then Chandler says, Uber is 200 to Titusville, meaning the Greyhound plus the Uber. And you say it was 240 to go straight to Titusville. What are you looking at when you're doing this?
I was looking at the Greyhound website.
So you thought it'd be about 240 bucks. But Chandler texts you.
So like $1,000 to get there with not much of my stuff.
You respond, WTF, where am I? Or he responds, what WTF, where am I looking? And you say, you're very off, essentially is what that message means, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, is his response. Around this time, you were looking up how Chandler could get to Florida, right?
Yes.
Show exhibit number 534 in this case. What is that?
It's a screenshot of the Greyhound website of me looking up a trip to Titusville from Madison.
And you took the screenshot?
Yes.
Did you send this to Chandler?
Yes.
Okay. And that was in the middle of those text messages, right?
Yes.
Move 534 in evidence.
Any objection?
Can we approach?
Sure.
What could one possibly have to talk about with this?
It's for
What are we looking at there?
the price for a trip from Madison to Titusville, Florida on Greyhound.
You took the screenshot, right?
She said, I got
Correct.
receipts.
Who did you send it to again?
Pardon?
Who did you send it to?
Chandler.
Sure, that's in Mark. In this case, it's exhibit number 536, and I'll show you 537. 536. Is that another set of messages between you and Chandler that day, July 5th?
Correct.
Welcome to the party, pal.
What is that?
Oh, sorry. It's a screenshot of UW clinic.
And did you take that
Yes, I did.
in relation to what? Why did you take the screenshot?
That's where Chandler said he was going to have his appointment for that day.
Okay. I'll move 536 and 535 into evidence.
Any objection other than the standing objection as to the texts?
No objection.
I
They
find
are
it
received.
super odd that all
So
these
we're
screenshots that she
Still
took.
on that day, July 5th. But we're in the afternoon, and you text me. Can you read that last one?
Text me when you get to your appointment.
And we're about 1:30, aren't we?
Yes.
Chandler says, yes, dear. And a series of messages
Chandler gonna
starting
get
at
smacked.
1:40. You say, essentially. 1:40 again. I love you. It's going to be okay. Can you read what Chandler says?
Either way, you and me are going to be happy.
You say?
Very true.
And then at 2 o'clock, 2:01 exactly, Chandler says what?
Made it a bit ago and checked in
What was your understanding of where he had gone?
to the location that I had screenshotted for his appointment.
And why again did you take this screenshot for Chandler's appointment?
Because I was trying to leave work early to be able to take him myself.
Okay. But you didn't take them that day, did you?
No.
So I'm showing, I'll move to publish 535 if I haven't.
You may.
You looked up UW Health on Science Drive.
Correct.
How did you get this location, or how did you know this
And
was the
screenshotted
location
it.
you'd be going to?
Chandler told me it was on Science Drive.
Road name's a little on the nose, don't you think?
At that point, after he says he made it, checked in at just after 2, what does he say?
Be right back.
You say, you got this. Yeah. You ask him about what you're doing later, 2:19, but then Chandler sends you a message. What does that say?
Just need you to know because I have horrible reception.
Then it was sent again. Does that look right?
Yes.
Okay. And just read that again if you could.
Just need you to know because I have horrible reception.
Your understanding at that time is that he was at the UW Health Hospital on Science Drive, or the clinic.
Correct.
You respond, okay. Then what do you say there?
You sit on a
Do
throne
they
of
not-
lies.
I meant to say, do they not have Wi-Fi?
Okay. What do you say after that?
We can snap if that's easier.
Why would that be easier?
Because they generally have Wi-Fi at all UW Health clinics. And so if he doesn't have reception on his phone, we could still snap with the Wi-Fi.
Now, we're talking about text, you're texting, and now you're texting about snapping. But in the realm of this conversation, a couple of questions. When you're texting someone, just on the normal Apple iPhone, and you're texting someone, absent something crazy, you're not seeing their location, at least in your experience, right?
She has an
On
Android.
the Apple location?
In these text messages, this isn't how you looked at where Chandler's location is, right? It was Snapchat.
Correct.
So if someone in your experience wasn't on Snapchat or able to use Snapchat because they didn't have Wi-Fi or a signal, would you be able to tell where their location is?
No.
Can you turn off on Snapchat the ability of someone to see your location?
Yes.
At 2:23,
Somebody
after
didn't
arriving at the
think
doctor,
about
what does
it.
Chandler say to you?
No connection to even load Snapchat. And no Wi-Fi. But I can still get your iMessages. No connection to even load Snapchat. And no Wi-Fi.
Really trying to double down on that, are we?
That makes sense to you?
The texts or?
That he'd be able to get messages, but wasn't getting Wi-Fi or didn't have any service for Snapchat?
No.
Generally, in your relationship with Chandler or anyone else that you've been involved with, or any of your Snapchat friends that you follow their location, are you generally able to see their location when they're in normal cities like Madison?
Yes,
And you work in the healthcare field, right?
I do.
Generally, Wi-Fi available at most of those places?
Yes.
In fact, what do you say to Chandler at 2:24?
Weird, they all have it. Have it. But maybe it's your carrier.
What does Chandler say?
Sweet summer child.
I'll try and get
No.
it on. I'll try and get it on.
Some of those messages were duplicates. Do you know if they were sent twice or they were just received twice?
Check, please.
I'll ask a better question. That last one, where there were duplicate messages, 2 in a row. I'll try to get it on. I'll try to get it on. One possibility is someone actually wrote that message out,
Let's
sent
get
it,
it on.
and there was some glitch in the system and it got sent twice, right?
Objection, speculation, and lack of foundation.
I think the witness has testified to some electronic savvy enough that I think I'll let the question be asked and answered if she can.
Sure. Is one possibility of that same message coming through twice that there was maybe a glitch in the system or someone was in bad service area and the message just went
Just
through
in the
twice?
matrix.
Yes.
Is another possibility that someone actually wrote that out and sent it twice purposefully?
Yes.
So at 3:25, maybe an hour into this, after the bad service, Chandler texts you. Can you read these for me?
Yeah, but consider
Hi,
who
hon.
hired him. Well,
Heading home.
if it was true.
They took an x-ray and a CT scan. Nothing bad on the x-ray.
At that point, I think you testified you didn't drive Chandler to the doctor's appointment.
No.
Did you FaceTime with him while he was there?
At the appointment?
Yeah.
Not that I remember.
And did you see his location, his Snapchat location? Was he at
would have
any doctor's
screenshotted it.
appointment that you could tell?
Not that I saw.
And so kind of like I asked you before with the jobs and the school, absent what Chandler was telling you, did you have any indication that he in fact was at any doctor's appointment? Do you know for sure?
No.
But after Chandler says nothing bad on the x-ray, just read kind of what you responded.
Florida.
And what'd you say?
Let me see face.
What does that mean to you guys?
Generally, when we miss each other, we'll ask to see face, which means we'll send each other a Snapchat of our face.
Never.
After you ask to see his face, how does Chandler respond?
CT scan, hon.
You ask him what was on it. No bad news. Can you read his response to you?
They haven't determined anything. Both my legs like they were and all. I gotta wait to hear what they determined.
Can you read your first response to that?
I mean, soreness and stiffness is normal after whiplash and an accident,
And the next one.
especially with how much your fam wouldn't let you move around your house.
What did this message mean? Why did you say that?
He was at the time staying in the basement because it was a darker room because he had sensitivity to the light, and his mom didn't want him doing much because she was really concerned about him, hurting himself or
Yeah,
maybe passing out, lifting things. So he just generally stayed in there.
He loved staying in that room.
What you knew about his restrictions in the house, was that just from what Chandler had told you?
Yes.
Did you ever have a conversation with Krista about that?
No.
You read his response at 3:28.
No need to be worried. Just gotta wait.
Because it's not
And
real.
Next one.
FaceTime when you get off.
Shortly thereafter, you say, "So we're not worried," and read his response for us if you could.
I am.
Oh,
Meaning
he is
he's worried?
all of a sudden.
Yes.
And your response?
They're sure you're fine.
He said, nothing to worry about, but wait, hold on. You might not believe. Yes, I'm worried.
You just could read your messages to him at this point, starting at 3:29.
What? Snap me back. Sir,
Sir,
are you okay?
What does he say?
Sorry.
And you say,
Are you okay?
what are these messages? Did you know what was going on? You were sending him a series of messages. Did you have any idea of why he wasn't getting back to you?
Not that I recall.
When you say snap me back, even though maybe we didn't see it, does that indicate maybe did you send a snap to him around that time? Sorry, did you respond?
Pardon?
Did you send a snap to him around that time? Is that why you said snap me back?
I don't recall if I
Wait
sent
for
one
it.
then or if I sent one earlier in the day and he just wasn't sending it back.
At 4:19 on Monday, July 5th. You read what Chandler sent to you?
I think so. I'm calling Cress. I need some time up at the water.
In none of these texts, prior to, day of, or after, is there any mention from either of them about not hearing from his parents?
And you say, okay.
Correct.
What's that in reference to? Just so everyone's on the same page.
So that he can go up to the farm and use the pool.
Okay. Did you go with him that Monday to the farm?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I just was going to be at home.
Did you, again, I think you already testified that Chandler hadn't been out there by himself before to the farm, but did you overhear any sort of conversations with Chandler the day prior, perhaps asking to come out?
Yes.
And who are those, who's having that conversation? What people?
My mom and Cress.
Hey, Chandler.
Did you talk to Chandler? In your recollection, do you have any recollection if you talked to Chandler while he was on his way out to the farm?
Yes.
What was he talking about?
About how he wants to use the pool.
How his
and
father's torso was
if
in
I
the
knew
back
if
seat?
Cress was home and if I could get a hold of her.
Did you see Chandler that night after he left the farm?
Yes.
Where?
At my mom's home.
Did he say anything to you, or do you remember anything about that night?
I remember him telling me he lost the job at SpaceX.
You sit on a throne of lies. Look. And here we go.
Did he say why he lost the job at SpaceX?
Is she falling asleep?
He said while he was working after the injury, they found a lot of errors with what he was doing, and it was like a page long or something like that. And so they were letting him go.
Okay. When you say letting him go, were you under the impression that Chandler had actually started working at SpaceX?
Yes,
And remotely, or how did that work?
remotely.
What?
But he told you he was losing that job that day.
Yes,
So he talked to you about his doctor's appointment that day?
yes.
What did he say about that?
He was gonna have lifelong leg numbness.
Lifelong leg numbness?
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to pull that microphone just a little bit closer. The fans start to go. Anything else about the doctor's appointment or what they told him?
Not that I can recall at this moment.
How was he acting when he told you he'd lost the job at SpaceX?
Sad. Just down.
Okay. Now, in another matter, at any point around this time, so now we're into
Fly me
Monday,
to
going
the
into Tuesday.
moon. Let me
Chandler mention anything about where his
swing
parents
amongst
were?
stars.
That they still weren't home and that they were probably still up at the cabin.
Okay. Did you have any impression, or were you told from Chandler when they were coming back from the cabin?
Either Monday or Tuesday morning.
Okay. I'm sure it's been marked in this case as exhibit number 537. First couple of messages on there. Does that appear to be, now we're into Tuesday, July 6th, messages between you and Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move 537 into evidence and ask to publish it.
Any objection?
No.
537 is received and may be published.
No.
On July 6, 2021, around 9, now we're into Tuesday in the afternoon. What do you say to him?
Parents home?
What did that mean to you?
Are your parents home?
Had you discussed with Chandler, like, where are your parents before this message was sent? Was this a follow-up, or was this the first kind of time you were asking?
Follow up?
Okay. And was that a verbal conversation where you were asking him where they were?
Yes.
Okay. What did he tell you in that verbal conversation?
There's poor reception up north and by the cabin, so that's why he had been hearing from them.
Okay. So you say parents home. Go ahead and read Chandler's response. 905.
No.
What do you say?
Text Mitch.
Mitch is his brother.
Correct.
Why'd you think you should text Mitch?
His parents still weren't home at the time they said they would be, and he wasn't receiving many messages from his mother that weekend, and that was highly unusual since she texts quite often.
Tell me about that. You say when Krista or Bart would be away from Chandler, you were with Chandler a lot of these times when they'd be away, right? Would Krista be in communication with Chandler?
Yes.
How frequently?
Very frequently, always asking what our plans are or just asking how we're doing, letting us know what she's doing, sending pictures of the dogs.
Would it be unusual for Krista to go a number of days without contacting Chandler in your experience of being around Chandler?
Very unusual.
Were you growing concerned at any point?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Like I said, he wasn't hearing from his mother, and usually when they're up north, she'll send photos of the cabin or the lake, especially if they're doing something like maybe I'll get like a little text, but her not checking in with Chandler was out of the ordinary, and he wasn't hearing from her, then maybe Mitch heard from his mother because she usually texts them both frequently.
That Tuesday, the 6th now, you worked that day, normal day?
Yes.
Okay. And other than the messages maybe we talked about with Chandler, did you spend a lot of time with Chandler that day?
In the evening.
Okay. What'd you do in the evening?
He came over to my mom's house because on Tuesdays we do Buffalo Wild Wings, the BOGO deal on their traditional wings, and we watch
Still
Legally
expensive
Blonde.
as hell?
Okay.
Oh my god, you guys.
Now the next day, going into the 7th, now we're on to Wednesday. I'm going to show you it's been marked in this case as exhibit number 538. Series of messages on that day between you and Chandler.
Yes.
Said yes?
Yes.
Sorry, I have to answer verbally. And then 540, just more messages that day, but in a different exhibit.
Yes.
I'll move 538 and 540 into evidence.
Any objection other than the standing objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
They are received and may
Thank
be
you.
published.
Before I show the messages in general, what was the plan that Wednesday? Was that a work day for you?
That Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a work day for me.
Okay.
Chandler said, what's
I'll
that
show
like?
you exhibit number 538.
She keeps stealing glances at him.
At some point you ask, 538, you ask
catching that?
Chandler, where are you going? Something like that.
Yes.
Okay. And he says what?
Farm, but no one here, so leaving.
Okay. When he said farm, what was your understanding of where he was or where he was going?
The family farm.
No
where
one's
he's been
here,
on the
huh?
4th of July?
Yes.
And where Chandler had been on the 5th?
Yes.
You kind of invite him to swim if he needs to.
Yes.
Correct.
There's a message with no content there at 10:16. Chandler texts you. What does he say?
I feel weird.
And you say
Why?
what? You say why?
Yes.
10:54. What does Chandler say?
Sorry, I'm stressed, hon.
You say it's okay. You can swim if you need to.
Sir, that said butt swim if you need to.
Do you know if Chandler ended up at the farm that day?
And here we
Pardon?
Do you know if Chandler ended up out at the farm that day?
Yes. By the texts.
Okay. And
And I feel
do you know
like
how long he stayed or what he did there?
No.
Were you with him?
No.
Were you in communication with anyone else about Chandler going out to the farm that day? Can I ask a better question? Were you texting with your mom about that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go out to the farm that day?
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, the 7th.
No.
After the 4th of July, that weekend in general, remember earlier when I asked you about the Target pickups you did and the things you brought to Chandler for the cookout?
Yes.
Did you ever take those Target bags out to the farm?
No.
Would that be something you would ever do, is bring your garbage out to the farm and throw it away in a garbage can out there?
No.
I'm going to show you, it's been marked in this case, is exhibit number 538. In general, can you just tell me what that is, what it looks like?
The garbage bins on the farm in a Target bag.
It's 159. Sorry, that was 158. This is 159. What is that?
The inside of the bin.
And these are garbage bins you've seen before while you're out there?
Yes.
160. What does that look like?
A Target bag.
I asked you earlier, were there labels on those bags that you get when you do grocery pickups?
Yes.
What is 161?
My Target pickup number with my first initial,
Legend?
last name, and the date.
Dairy.
And that date is July 1st.
Correct.
I'm going to show you exhibit 164. Is that just a little bit more of an overview of that Target bag?
Yes.
165, same thing. Is that what it is?
Yes.
166
Yes.
and 167.
Yes.
Okay, those are all appear to be the Target bags that you picked up on those Target pickups.
Yes.
I would move 158, 159, 160, 161, 164, 165, 166, and 167 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
righty.
They are received. They
Just-
may be published.
Love you.
158, those are the garbage bins at the farm.
Correct.
And I think you described what was in front
Watch
of it.
out.
What did that appear to
I
be?
don't want to be
Target
mistaken
bag.
for a cult.
It was 158,
No
159.
No,
What are we
no.
looking at there?
thing
Inside the
here,
bin.
unless it's for Jasper.
160. What are we looking at there?
A Target bag.
I'll jump around a bit. 167. Is that just a close-up of the Target bag?
Correct.
I think we had a few of those. 166, 165. But in 164, another close-up of the bag, where I'm pointing at the bottom of the photograph, is that one of those labels?
Yes, it is.
And in 161, is that a close-up of that label?
Yes, it is.
When it says date put on hold, is that the date you ordered it?
Yep, the day I ordered it.
Okay. Kat, did you dump off that Target bag out at the farm?
No,
If the bag inside of it had rags that were covered in a red substance, do you know anything about that?
no,
Do you know where it would have come from?
no.
Where would that bag have been last, in your knowledge?
The Halderson resident.
And you have any knowledge at all of how whatever was in that bag got in that bag?
No.
So around that time that Chandler said he was going back out to the farm, he was stressed, I think you identified 540, which was another set of messages from that same day. If I haven't, I'll move 540 into evidence.
I think that you have.
Okay.
And which day, if you can restate the day.
Sure. So we're on the 7th.
Thank you.
Can you read the first message we have on here from Chandler on the 7th around 11:22?
Going to police.
What does he say next?
Can I have $5 for a soda and chips?
And what did you respond?
I don't have $5.
10 to 20 years.
Going to police.
But also this.
Around that time, was there a discussion again of why he was going to the police?
He has to report his parents missing.
Okay. At this point, what had he told you about his parents being missing? So you knew they were scheduled to come back, but what did you learn since that would cause Chandler to go to the police?
His mom had an appointment for her cancer, and it was very important. So it was very unusual for her to miss that.
Did you have a conversation with Chandler about whether he should or shouldn't make a missing persons report for his parents?
Yes,
What did you tell him?
I said he should. They've been gone for so long and he hasn't heard from them.
Did he say anything about what was going into his decision on whether to report them missing or not report them missing yet?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. Did Chandler tell you anything about why he hadn't made a missing persons report at that time?
Like until then, like
Yeah.
why that day?
Yeah.
Because he thought they were just running late, and the deciding factor to report them missing was his mom missing that appointment.
Now, the next day, July 8th, Thursday, you were supposed to go to work, right?
Correct.
That night, the police had been involved in Chandler's house and talking to people, right?
Correct.
Were you one of those people talked to by the police?
On Thursday?
Yeah. Sure.
Can you restate the question? I
Sure.
apologize.
No, you're doing great. Did you go with Chandler to report his parents missing?
I did not go with him to report them missing.
Do you know, were you over at Chandler's house when the police came over that night?
On Wednesday?
Yeah.
I was not there.
Okay. The next day, you went to work and tell me about work that day.
I was
The
very
ultimate
emotional and
shade
upset and
of it all.
just very distraught, and I just couldn't be there because I was really worried about his parents.
That is where we are going to stop for tonight. But you won't have very long to wait because we'll be back tomorrow at 9:15. Yay! Everybody needs to go to bed. Everybody go to bed. I think that's important. Thank you all again for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you. We're going to continue on. We'll finish this day and get into the next day tomorrow. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging in there. All of the fun stuff. You know, as I always say, take care of yourself, take care of your friends, family, and community. Don't let anybody dull your sparkle, and shine on, you crazy diamonds. Shine on. Court is adjourned. I will see you guys tomorrow, 9:15 Eastern. Bye.